Hey guys! So today I want to show you guys how to make sugar cookies. If you guys have seen, this has become kind of a big thing for parties now. Like instead of cake, some people now just have cookies. So I've been trying to make this recipe for a while. I've tried different recipes and I finally found one that works for me. So I want to share with you guys what I do and hopefully it works for you. So, ingredients. You're gonna need flour. I use all-purpose flour, sugar, vanilla, baking powder, salt, an egg, and a cup of butter. So I use 2 sticks of butter. You also need a hand mixer or an actual mixer. It doesn't really matter. In the end, you kind of have to do it with your hands if you don't have one of these. But yeah. So you also need your measuring cups, your spatula, and a teaspoon. So let's get to it. So what you're gonna do first is you're gonna put the butter. So about the butter, I usually take it out of the fridge and leave it out for about an hour or so. It's just so it's not cold, and that helps with holding all your ingredients, and your cookie will not spread so much. And that's important when you do sugar cookies because you want them to keep the shape. So I'm going to put both sticks. Okay. And now I'm going to put 1 cup of sugar. Blend that in. So once I've creamed it, it's gonna be a little soft, okay? You're gonna put in I think it's like 2 tablespoons. But I put 2 of the tops of the vanilla cabinet. But I think it's 2 tablespoons. Pour that in there. Put in your egg. So the egg, I also take it out with the butter a little bit ahead of time, just so they're not so cold. And I mix that in. So now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder, okay, and about half a teaspoon of salt, maybe even 1/8. It all just depends on your butter, if it's salted, if it's not salted. If it's salted, I don't recommend adding salt because then you'll make it too salty. But the salt is just so it tightens the sweetness, so it's more flavorful and you don't have to use it too much sugar. Okay, so I put that in and let's blend it. Okay, so now I've got 2.5 cups of flour, and I'm going to be adding this slowly because sometimes either your butter is too runny or it's too hard and you don't need the same amount of flour. So it's kind of between 2.5 and 3 cups sometimes that I use. But it all depends on the temperature where you're at, the consistency of your butter mixes, and you'll go from there. So I like to add a little bit at a time. So with this, I like to add a little bit at a time and not all 2.5 cups or 3 cups of flour, because then you get lumps of flour when you bake your cookie, and that's not fun. as you can see, it's kind of starting to lump up a bit. So when it gets like this, I like to stop it and scratch the edges with the spatula. So you're gonna start to see it's already lumping up a little more. And that's where you're almost getting to the end of your flour. So if you see it's still kind of sticking to the edge, you add a little more flour at a time and you'll be getting to your right consistency. Okay, so after having mixed it for a while, you start to notice that the dough is no longer sticking to your bowl. So that's when you start getting a consistency which is kind of like Play-Doh. You know it's ready. So you take it out. Okay, I got my bowl. And I like to put it in a ball. And then I get a plastic wrap or a plastic bag. I put it in here. So it's always better, well, it's always recommended to chill your dough. So it's either an hour to about 8 hours. It has to be in the fridge. Basically, this is so your dough locks in and you're able to roll it out. And when you actually put it in the oven, it won't spread. If you don't really care about it spreading and you just want to have some cookies, then just roll it out, put them in your pan, 350 for about 8 minutes, or depending on your size. But I usually do 8 to 10 minutes at 350. Okay? Okay guys, so I'm back. I went ahead and left the dough in the fridge for about an hour and a half or 2. So because if you leave it that long, you're gonna see that once you take it out, it's gonna be like hard as a rock. Okay? So I let it defrost a little so it gets a little softer. What I like to do is I like to cut it into pieces. I like to cut it into pieces because me and Marcos are the only ones in the house, so we don't need that much cookies. But just so you get an idea of how much this makes, you can make about 36 cookies with this batch. So I'm going to use this circle, and this is a medicine cup. If you don't have cookie cutters or any of the sort, you could use a cup or anything that has a shape that you could cut out your cookies. So while I'm doing that, I'm gonna set the oven to 350. And then I'm going to use these to cut into it so they look like donuts. Okay, so now that I've got them here, I'm going to put them in the oven. And now we wait. Try a cookie.
They're pretty good.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
You just came in from working.
Yeah. I was hungry, but they're really good.